Hi there, everybody. My name's Fred, and I am going to show you in a video or two how to build yourself or make an outdoor Advent wreath. Now, many of you already know what an Advent wreath is. You find them in churches. We sometimes have them at home for home devotions. It's a wreath that has 4 candles on it, and a candle is lit for each of the Sundays during the season of Advent. The season of Advent runs the 4 Sundays prior to the celebration of Christmas. And what the Advent wreath does visually is it shows us the coming of Jesus at the festival of Christmas. And what I really like about the Advent wreath is that it's not so much a countdown to Christmas, though it does show us Jesus, who is the light of the world, coming into the world. And as the light, as a candle is lit every week, more and more light is revealed until we get to Christmas, when Jesus, who is the light of the world, comes into the world on our behalf. Anyhow, for the last, 10, 15 years, I have searched in vain for a outdoor Advent wreath, for something that I could display on my front lawn that would help me and my neighbors and those driving by to see the progression of the Advent season. I went online, didn't find any designs for outdoor Advent wreaths at all, so I decided that I would build my own Advent wreath. Now, I had to give that considerable thought because I really had no models to work with. I hadn't seen anything online, as I've already said, that I felt I was going to be able to use. So I came up with my own idea for an Advent wreath, for an outdoor Advent wreath. And the Advent wreath that I am going to show you how to build is made primarily out of one of my favorite materials, and that is this PVC pipe. You're probably all familiar with this. You can use PVC pipe for a variety of projects. It's used a lot in plumbing. There are a lot of people, myself included, who like to make things out of PCV pipe, excuse me. I've made some, for example, flagpoles using this material, and some people actually can make furniture out of this kind of stuff. So we're going to be using PVC pipe to make an Advent wreath. And I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I am no builder. This, though, is going to be, I think, a pretty simple project. I've already started some of it, and as I did this, I thought, well, there are other people out there who would probably like to make an Advent wreath, and they simply don't have a plan, or maybe they've looked to buy one and they haven't found anything. So this is my gift to you to build yourself an Advent wreath. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to be using throughout this video and the 1 or 2 others that are going to follow 2-inch PVC pipe, and I'm just going to refer to it as 2-inch pipe from now on. This stuff is readily available at Lowe's, Home Depot, Menards, any of the big box hardware stores around the United States. And some of it is pre-cut. This is a pre-cut 2-foot section of piping. And this is going to be transformed eventually into one of the 4 candles that is going to be on my Advent wreath. Now, you're going to need at least, you're going to need 4 candles, and I would suggest, just for your own convenience, buying the 2-foot pre-cut pieces of pipe. It'll give you a pretty good size candle. Now, what you're going to also be making is first, you're going to be making a base for your Advent wreath to stand on. And here is the base that I have already made out of the white piping. And what I did was I got one 10-foot section of pipe at a local hardware big box store, and I cut it into 4 equal pieces, because what I needed to do was make a sturdy enough stand for the Advent wreath to stand in. Remember, all of this is made out of heavy duty plastic. I spray painted this black, and I thought black would be a good color. It kind of looks a little bit like cast iron, so I thought that was probably a good color. Now what I have here is the beginning of the project. So I've got 4 legs that I cut out of that 10-foot section, and on the end of each of the legs I put a 2-inch cap. Again, you can find these very easily at any of the big box hardware stores. And in the center portion here, and I'm going to show you this on what will actually be the top of the stand. Let me take this apart. Okay, in the center section, we have what we call a 5-way, okay? I was not able to find this at any of the big box stores, so I had to go on Amazon and order this specially. You can see that it's what's known as a 5-way. This is not recommended, incidentally, for use in plumbing. I don't know why you would. Anyhow, it's used for people who are constructing projects like I am. You can get this from Amazon. I think this one piece is probably 18 bucks. You're actually going to need 2 of these, okay? And you'll see on the stand that what I have is one of those 5-ways right over here in the center of the stand. All right. Now, coming up out of the center of the stand is a section of white pipe that's about, I would say 5 or 6 inches. Okay, and I wanted to have a small base going up, and on top of this base, and I'll grab one of these, is a 2-inch connector. Okay, this again you can get at any of the big box hardware stores, and what it does is it allows you to put pieces of pipe together like so. All you have to do is just stick it in. You can knock it down with a hammer, and you're all set to go. What I wanted to do was raise the pipe up a little bit, because this is going to form the stand. Okay, so what we have already, and this is what you would start building, seems the best way to go to me, is you're going to build the stand. Okay, now one of the things that you need to understand, you've got to cut most of this pipe, and there's 2 ways of doing that. Way number 1 is to buy yourself a PVC saw, and I've used that for smaller projects. The only problem with it is if you're cutting this stuff, it's really hard. It can be really hard to cut, because as you can see, the pipe is pretty thick. All right, so cutting with a saw, you can do it, but it's going to take you a while. A much simpler solution to your cutting is to purchase one of these. This is a PVC pipe cutter. This has a 2-inch diameter, and it works like a clamp. You can see that as you push this handle, it literally squeezes and cuts through the pipe without deforming it. This is the easiest way to cut the pipe. Now, you will have to buy one of these. It's about, I don't know, 22, 23 bucks where I got mine, but it is well worth it. And for example, to cut that pipe, that 10-foot pipe that I made the legs of the stand out of, I only had to use this thing 3 times to make the cuts. So I highly recommend getting yourself one of these, because that's what you're going to want to use to cut all of your piping. The other thing that I want to highlight right away is you're going to need these. Okay, I made this stand incidentally wide enough so that if we have a really lot of wind here in Fort Wayne where I live, it won't take the stand over too easily, but I recommend getting these U-shaped ground stakes also. You can buy these on Amazon as well. These are, you can see that this will easily slip down over the legs of the stand, and when I actually put this up into the ground, I'm going to use these to further anchor the Advent Wreath stand into the ground. Okay, so that's our base. That's our basic stand right now. Now, the other thing that another couple of things that you're going to buy or you're going to need. First of all, you're going to need black. If you, I think you're going to want to paint this. You're going to need spray paint which adheres to plastic, and you can buy that again at any of the big box hardware stores. It adheres pretty well. It dries pretty quickly, so it doesn't take a long time to paint your structure. But what I decided to do, because of the way I'm going to construct my Advent wreath, was to do the base first, get it all sprayed, and then I'll be adding pieces to it. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is this. This is actually going to be the main part of the stand, all right? It is going to slip into this piece here. I'm not going to knock it down yet because I need to spray paint this, and I'm also going to need to do some more work with this. But I want you to see what I've already done. On this particular piece of pipe, I have drilled 4 holes in the piping, and that will allow me to run an electrical cord through the pipe. And I'm going to use gravity when I do this, by the way. I'm going to turn it upside down. I'm going to run my cords through, and I'm going to make a video that shows electrifying this and doing this. I'm going to run the cords down, and that's going to supply power. Those cords are going to supply power to the quote candles in the Advent wreath. So this piece of pipe is probably about 3.5 feet long, and that's a nice height. It's going to get the whole stand up to about 4 feet once I put this whole thing together. Now, let's talk also about some of the other things you're going to need. So you're going to need to get probably another 10-foot section of pipe like this, or maybe a 5-foot section so you don't have too much waste. You're going to need your 10-foot sections, a 10-foot section to do the legs. You can maybe you could make a little, make those legs a little shorter, but I wanted to have a lot of stability. You're going to need to get your, you're going to need to get these, your stakes, if you want to get the Advent wreath down in the ground easily, anchored easily. And then moving along, you're going to want to get also 2 of these, 2 of the 5-ways, okay? Because note, one of the 5-ways is used in the bottom, and the other 5-way is going to be used in the top of the Advent wreath, okay? It's going to actually form the stand. And I'm going to do something right now. I'm going to put some of this together just temporarily, and I will be knocking this together later on. I am not, incidentally, going to be gluing this. It fits nice and snug. The reason why I'm not going to glue is because if I ever need to get to the wires that are going to be inside this, I'm not going to be able to easily do that if I've already glued this stuff together. So, and you can buy glue for this white pipe. It's pretty good. I've never used it on a project yet because I really haven't had to. And so just so you know how this is all going to work, this is going to mount like this on top of the stand, and then that's going to go into the top of the wreath. And I'm just going to set this here for the time being. Hope that it doesn't, yeah, it's not going to fall over. Well, maybe it will. All right, so now let me get a couple of other things out of the box. These are 90 degree, they're 90 degree elbows, okay? And you can, again, all of this stuff is available at any of the big box stores. This is going to go on the end like this. get it on. And that's going to form the candle holder, okay? This is the stand, okay? Well, this is the stand, and these are the candle holders coming out of the center section. You're going to need to get 4 of these, okay? They're not that expensive. I think they're $1.50, $2 or so. And again, they're available at all of the big box stores. You're also going to need to get some of these, and I've got 5 or 6 of them right now. These are the 2-inch extenders, and again, what this allows us to do is to connect pieces of pipe together. But I'm going to be using these connectors for the sealing of the top of the candle, and I'm going to show you a candle that I've already made. So you can kind of see how all of this is going to work. So I'm going to put these aside for the time being. And some of the other things that you're going to need to purchase, and you're going to need to get 4 of these. This is a 8-foot lamp cord with a plug. And you can see that you're going to need to wire this. But the great thing about this, the way this is set up, when I go to electrify the wreath, I am going to, reason why I got those holes at the bottom of that one piece. Turn this upside down for a sec. I am going to send these pieces of wire down the hole, okay, and it won't be connected to the whole centerpiece yet. And that is the way I'm going to be running electricity out into the arms of the candle holders so that I can get electricity into the candles, all right? So you're going to need 4 of these, okay? Again, they're not very expensive. You can get them at any of the hardware big box stores. So let me just set this aside for a moment and show you what is really, really going to be, well, I'm going to show you something fun here in a second. How are we going to make a candle? Well, again, I'm no electrician. I'm just a guy who likes to make things. So what I found were these. These are bronze all-weather lamp holders. And you're going to need 4 of these because this is what your candle is going to go into. And so get yourself 4 of these. These are about $2.50 a pop, I think. And also, with the design that I have, I've bought myself some of these 4-foot wire extension kits. Okay, this is so that I can, if I need to, I can get at least 12 feet of cord running from the bottom of the wreath stand up through the center supporting piece, and then out into the arms. Okay, so I bought 4 of these in case I need them. Since we are making a wreath, you'll need also to get yourself a outdoor wreath, or I guess you could make one if you're really ambitious. I bought this for about $20 at one of the home decorating stores here in Fort Wayne. It's a perfect size, I think. And what eventually is going to happen with this wreath is that it is going to be placed on top of all of this, like so. And I've got enough, I measured this carefully. This is 36 inches across, and so I did some measurements so that I would have about an 1.5 to 2 inches of overhang on all sides. So what I'm going to be doing is wiring this to the wreath stand itself. This will all be, you'll see how all of this works as we proceed. These are great, and what I'm going to do with this wreath also is just to kind of jazz it up a little. I'm going to weave over it just some gold Christmas lights, mini lights that I have. So that'll give it a nice look too, and lighten the whole thing up. I think one string of 100 will probably be more than enough. Okay, another thing that you're going to need to buy, and this will become apparent here in a moment when I show you some more stuff, is you're going to need to get 4 socket extenders. Okay, what these do is they go into the socket here in the lamp, and that just gives us some extra height, and you'll see why that's important as we proceed. So you're going to want to get yourself 4 of these, and other items to show you are paint. Okay, I already talked about the black spray paint for the stand, and I'm going to be painting this black as well. But I got a can, and again, you have to make sure that you get the right kind of paint. This is 2X Rust-Oleum, and it adheres to plastic, and as you can see, it adheres very nicely. I'm going to paint 3 of the candles with this blue color. The traditional color for Advent is the color of blue, and that represents hope. And then one of the candles is going to be painted pink, and they're on the 3rd Sunday of Advent, you light a pink candle, and typically on the 3rd Sunday of Advent in churches we hear the story of Mary being told by the angel that she is going to bear the Christ child. And I don't think it's really that pink is for girls, but it helps us to know that that's an important event. So you want to get yourself some pink paint. And then we're going to use 4 of these to be like candle followers on the top of the candles. And so what you're also going to want to buy yourself, you can paint these if you want, but it's kind of hard to paint when you're spray painting. So what I decided to do is I am going to use this nice gold duct tape. Now again, you can buy this at any of the big box hardware stores, and I'm going to wrap that around the outside of this extender ring, and that will make it'll make it look like we've got a metal follower on the candle. And you know, if you've been in church, you know what a metal follower it is. As the candle burns down, the metal follows it down, and it keeps wax and stuff from getting all over the place. All right, so I'm going to create that illusion by using the tape. And further, what the tape is going to do is it is going to provide me with some moisture protection also. Okay, now I've talked a lot about the candles, and excuse me for turning my back. I'm going to show you one of the candles here in just a second. Now the one of the other items that you're going to need is you're going to need 4 of these. These are great. These are flame bulbs. I bought mine at Menards here in Fort Wayne. I bought 4 of them, and they're really a lot of fun because they give the illusion of a burning flame. Perfect for a candle. I did not want to have like red or yellow light bulbs at the top of my candles. I wanted to have something that really truly looks like a flame, and so these things are great. And now let me just show you how great they are. And I'm filming outside, so I hope that this is going to pick up well. First, let me show you. This is a candle that is going to need to be painted, but I want to show you the construction here first. You'll note that just so that I could see that this was going to work, I'm going to have to take this apart. What I have here is the electric cord, and it is going up through the tube to the lamp fixture at the top. Now what I have here, I'm going to carefully take it apart. Can you see how I've got it wired into the lamp? I just got some of those handy dandy wire screws. They're great. They put wires together very, very quickly, and that way we have our wires joined together. You could use electrician's tape if you wanted to, but now this is where I've jerry-rigged stuff, folks. You see that this just goes straight down like that, and then that follower I told you about, okay, or the extender, one of these things, okay, this is, and I'm gonna now take this apart so you can see why I built things the way I did. I'm gonna plug the candle in here in just a sec. Let me take this off and carefully put this like this. Okay, so you can see this. Here we've got the lamp, okay, and the lamp again is wired in, all right? That's going to go down in the tube eventually, and in the top of the lamp, and I'm not going to take it apart, I put one of those socket extenders. And the reason why I put that in there was because with putting this on, the top of the pipe candle, I wasn't able to make contact with the socket, so I needed to put a socket extender in. So this drops in like this, as you can see. Boop, it goes in. This 2-inch joiner piece, the what I'm now calling the candle follower, goes on top of this like so, right? Okay. And then what we do is we take our candle bulb, the flame, and it simply gets screwed in like so. And there is a bit of a gap here, which is why I don't want moisture getting down in there. So that's why I'm eventually going to be using this gold duct tape. All right. So you can see the effect of why I think this is going to be really neat outside. Let me just plug this in, and hopefully it doesn't blow up. No, it won't blow up. I've already tested it. Okay, might be a little bit hard to see because it's light out here, but you can see that this looks like a flame. Isn't that cool? So we're going to have 4 candles with this marvelous flame. I think it'll be pretty neat to even see from the, I'll put this up fairly close to my house, but people on the street will be able to see this. And the first Sunday of Advent is going to be this coming Sunday, and I will, on that day, plug in the first of the 4 candles. And then all I'll have to do is come out each week and plug another one in. I just love the way this thing looks, and in a darkened room this thing really looks great, and at night it's going to look great too. So let me just step back over here with this and unplug it. So that's all I have for you today about building your own Advent wreath. Oh, one other piece of equipment you might want to always have is get yourself a nice rubber mallet like this. These are great because you don't want to be using a regular metal hammer on any of this white pipe, but this knocks things together very gently. So I would suggest getting that. So I've got all of the equipment, and I've shown you all of the equipment and all of the pieces that we need to make this thing work. What I'm going to be doing here today is just getting some of this put together and painted. I don't think you need to actually watch me doing any cutting or any painting. You can see that yourselves when I'm all done. So anyhow, hope you enjoy this video, and I will post another one probably tomorrow, because tomorrow's goal, after I get all of this stuff painted, tomorrow's goal is going to be to do the job of electrifying. Or we might not get to that tomorrow. I might have to do it on on Wednesday. Tomorrow I might have to be finishing up with some of the painting. I'm really excited about this project and the way I've already seen stuff go together. I always say this, it's really cool when it works, so I'm hoping that all of this will work easily. So anyhow, everyone have a great day, and I will see you again. Thanks for watching.